All right, covering Game 3 of Spurs Heat here on TYT Sports. And my main point to you is, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? Spurs, awesome. All right, so let's break this down. At one point in the game, not just like in the beginning of the game, halfway through the second quarter, they were shooting 90%. I couldn't believe my eyes. In any basketball game, let alone an NBA game, let alone a playoff game, let alone a final game against obviously one of the best teams in the league, by definition, right? 90% halfway through the second quarter. They wound up breaking the record by shooting about 76% in the first half. That's the record for best shooting percentage in NBA Finals history. And boy, I mean, it was a freaking clinic. Like, what did I tell you? They play the beautiful game. Like, 69, 69, 69, 69, pass, 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 pass. Oh, it's a layup, sorry. And so I love the Spurs versus the Heat because the Heat have these phenomenal players, and they do these amazing highlight baskets. Like, you see Dwayne Wade in the second half with the where he gets fouled and throws it up behind his back, and everybody goes, ah! Still worth 2 points. Okay, and Spurs are like, pass, 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 layup. Everybody's like, oh, they're boring. 2 points. Okay, so now I'm not, look, I predicted the Spurs in 5, and everybody gets overexcited after every game, right? So after game 1, people are like, oh, you might be right. It's just game 1, right? After game 2, people are like, ah, idiot, you're not right at all, right? Because the Miami won. Now people are like, you might be right. No, just, hey, listen, calm down. This is exactly what happened last year, right? Spurs blew them out. And then it looked like, oh my God, Spurs are going to win. But this time, like, my gut feeling was this Spurs team is, it's not just a gut feeling, this Spurs team is better than it was last year, right? And my gut feeling was that this year, if they have them on the ropes again, which they did last year, right, that they're going to put them away. That there's going to be no Ray Allen shenanigans in the corner, right? And so, and you saw their killer attitude in Game 3. I mean, they just came out and pulverized the Heat on their home court. So these guys are stone cold killers, and I'll say this now. Look, my prediction was Spurs in 5. It's obviously bold. I'd take them in 7. I mean, and the longer the series goes, the better for everybody. I mean, because if you're a basketball fan, these are great games. I mean, even though it was a blowout, and what's the big deal? I watched all of the game because I was sucked in. I love the way they play basketball, and not just the Spurs. So what I was going to say is that if the Heat win, it's okay. Am I not merciful? I pardon them. Okay. No, that means that they are as good as advertised. That the Heat, and especially LeBron, deserve all the hype they get. Because this Spurs team is an indisputable great team. Okay. If you beat these Spurs, you earned it. And my hat's off to you, all the credit in the world. And they did last year. If they beat them again, then LeBron really needs to be in a conversation. Well, he's already in the conversation for top 5 player of all time. He should be in the conversation for top 3 player of all time. He's in the middle of his career. I get that, right? So maybe we have these conversations later. But in the middle of your career to enter a conversation for top 3 of all time, you know, that's interesting. On the other hand, if Duncan wins the championship, that's 5 for him. And he beat LeBron twice. The first one was easier, obviously, when he was with the Cavs and had no backup. But this is a great Heat team. If he beats them again, Duncan's in a conversation for one of the greatest players of all time. So that's why this is, in a lot of ways, a historic matchup. And that's why I love it so much. And so even in the blowout wins, I'm enjoying them. And I think there's great basketball being played. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. You know, I kid around about my predictions. But the reality is, of course, especially in this series, no one has any idea what's going to happen next. It's like Game of Thrones. Okay, you think you know? You don't know. By the way, they even have names like Game of Thrones. Tiago Splitter, straight out of Game of Thrones. Boris Diaw, first sword of Bravos. Obviously. Okay. And Chris Bosh looks like a dragon. Tiago Splitter looks like one of the Giants. I was expecting him to come into the stadium in a mammoth. Okay. So I can't love this anymore. I can't wait for the next game. But Spurs showed who they were in Game 3. Now in Game 4, maybe we find out who the Heat are. Can't wait.